Hi, I'm Robin, and this is my no-buy year. Hello, Awakening Beauties. Welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining me for the first time, welcome. Thank you to all the new subscribers. There's been like 3 this week, and I couldn't be happier. You know, you don't want to think you're just making these videos in a tunnel that nobody cares about. I mean, truly, these videos are for me. But you want to know that they're resonating with people, right? So I welcome the new subscribers, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot. So what am I going to talk about today? That's the question. I was sitting there kind of preparing to make videos this weekend, and one of the things that's, I have my laptop right here, and I think I'm just gonna close it because I have some things like on my mind right now, things that are bothering me, things that I've had sort of existential crisis this week about. You know, and everything's fine. Everything really is fine. I feel like I'm about to cry right now for some reason. And I've cried once this week or twice this week already. And I'm not a crier. I don't cry a lot anymore. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going on, but I have a feeling, I know, and that is that my life has gotten a bit out of balance. I don't know what happened, and I think it's happening to a lot of people. 2023 rolled over, the new year, and we were all so excited. We felt like we had a new lease on life. Some of the bad stuff seems to be behind us, and we're all doing a lot of stuff. I'm noticing like my friends on Facebook, on Instagram, they're all doing a lot of things, and it's exciting, and I'm so happy for them. And I'm doing a lot of things. Not only did I take on this, new project of a no-buy year and to document it on my YouTube channel, but I'm also putting more posts on my social media. I'm doing my 30-day wardrobe challenge. If you didn't see that video where I pulled everything out of my closet, this is my process. And by the way, I know I said I've done this 4 times on Instagram, and I think that's correct. I looked back at my Instagram and I was like, yeah, it has been 4 times. But I've done this probably 3 other times where I didn't document it on Instagram because it's just sort of like my process of what I do to help me to, first of all, save time in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, but second of all, to wear things that I haven't been wearing in my wardrobe. And third of all, like, even though I live in South Florida and we really don't have seasons here. We have like 2 seasons. We have summer, hot as hell, and summer light. And we have a few days where it gets in the 40s, and maybe once in a while it'll dip into the 30s. But all of that to say, that was a long-winded way of saying that I do separate out my seasons. So I will bring out my fall, winter things, and then, I'll put away some of those things once I know we're past any cooler weather. Probably like May is when I'll change out some things that, I'll store some things in bins that I know I'm not going to wear because they're too summery, and, so anyways. So that it's my way of wearing things that I have and making sure that I'm wearing them. And if I'm not wearing them, then it's a good opportunity to purge. So I'll just put a few looks up here from so far I'm 2 weeks into my 30-day wardrobe challenge. It's a little behind because I don't post on the weekends, obviously. So since there's only 5 days in the week, and I really only post maybe 4 days a week because some days I work from home and those days I don't generally dress up. But either way, I have been putting together my 30-day wardrobe, and it's you know, putting together the little layout and the quotes that I like, and descriptions of what I'm wearing and how long I've had them, and maybe some fashion tips that may or may not be interesting to anybody. I don't know. Sometimes people tell me. The funniest thing about that is, again, when you're doing social media, when you're doing videos, you're creating, it's not art, right? Sometimes it's art, but you're creating content, let's just say, that you're not sure if it's resonating with anybody. And you know, like on my post, I might get 10 likes, and you know, I'm grateful for those likes, but very rarely do people comment. Very rarely do people, and I ask questions. I'm looking for, you know, if anybody wants to engage in conversation or maybe wants a tip from me, you know, I ask questions, but you know, you're not getting any feedback. So you feel like, why am I taking all this time? And trust me, it takes a long time for me to not only create the wardrobe, but to like make the layout for Instagram. Now I'm not complaining. I've taken this on myself, which is why I feel like a little burnout, because I'm like, why am I taking on all of this extra work if it's not going to resonate with anybody? Like, I could just do it for myself, like I've done many times before where I never posted it on Instagram, you know, but I just thought it would be fun. And I've had a few people say, oh, when are you going to do that 30-day wardrobe? I really liked it. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, that really, really inspired me to want to share it again. I was like, oh, cool, people do like it. And the funniest thing is, and they never comment, and they never, I don't think they ever even like them, my content, is a lot of guys that I know, friends in improv and other places, that they'll see me and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm loving what you're doing on Instagram. It's so great. I was like, well, why don't you let me know that? It would help. It would really help me feel like I'm not just creating something that nobody's looking at and nobody gives a crap about. It's fine. I've taken this on myself. It's nobody's responsibility to give me validation for the things that I do in life. And really, we should be doing things that we love, not for any, you know, validation or praise or anything like that. But every once in a while, it's nice to get a little praise. It's nice to hear that something that you've done meant something to someone. And anyways, I hope that little spiel made sense. The point is that it's taking a lot of time. It's taking time away from other things that I could be doing. And, you know, it feels like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to be a content creator when you feel like you're creating in a vacuum and nobody's really paying attention, or nobody cares, or nobody's come across your stuff, and maybe they will eventually? And, you know, when I could be, you know, some things that are suffering as a result would be like, I've been learning Spanish on Duolingo, and I was like in the top 2% last year, and because I was on there half an hour a day often, sometimes even longer. And I felt like I was, you know, I was really progressing, right? And then now I'm like maybe 5-10 minutes a day. And some days I forget altogether because I'm too busy with all the other projects that I'm working on. And I mean, that's a small thing, but you know, it matters to me, you know, and I want to continue learning Spanish, and eventually I might want to learn other languages. So anyways, that has suffered. My guitar practicing has suffered. Working full-time, which I started back in the beginning of October, working, well, it's about 45 minutes it's usually an hour drive. Let's be real. Especially my drive home is usually about an hour. And so as a result, like my guitar practicing has sort of fallen, you know, it has to take a back seat to everything else. And I don't like that. So I feel out of balance. I feel out of balance with, you know, although I love recording videos and I love editing them, it's time consuming. If you've ever done this, you'll know it's time consuming. And I love it. And you know you love something when hours and hours and hours will go by and you didn't even realize that you've been sitting at your desk for 5 hours and you haven't gotten up to go to the bathroom to take a drink of water, and now you're dehydrated and you feel like crap and it's 12 o'clock at night. Where did the day go? Oh, and there was something you wanted to do and you forgot about it because you were working on this project of editing these videos. So, you know, this is not a complaint by any means. It's just a reality of finding balance in life. And I guess, you know, maybe there's a need for a little more discipline on my part to make schedules for myself for when I am at home. And I'll say that, like, I get up usually between 5 and 5:30, and you know, some of my editing of videos will happen during that time. Some of my writing will happen at that time. Writing like my blog, which I haven't posted on in a few weeks, and I was intending for this year to start really writing in my blog more. But that and writing I'm taking a sketch comedy class. So yeah, I'm doing a lot right now. Yeah, I have a sketch comedy class on Monday nights, and when I signed up for it, which was back in, I think, December, I actually signed up for it, and I was just like not realizing how much time was going to be taken outside of the class to be writing sketch comedy. I've done improv. If you look at my videos, you'll see so many improv videos where I used to perform all the time but I've never done sketch comedy. Anyways, so that's taken a bit of time for not only the class itself, but to write sketches and to refine them and find the funny in them, and you know, all of that. And then there's the writing of my 30-day wardrobe challenge. And so I do that writing in the morning, and before I know it, the morning is gone and I have to leave for work. Now, let's not even mention that my meditation habits have sort of fallen off the wayside. I was getting up at like 4:45 to 5 o'clock every morning, meditating from anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, depending on, you know, sometimes I listen to guided meditations. And yeah, now I'm down to like, I just do my own meditation. I'm not doing any guided meditations, and I'm doing like 10 to 15 minutes in the morning. Most mornings. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I wake up too late and I just know I don't have time for that. So balance, finding balance. Everything really culminated for me Thursday night, because on Thursday I work from home typically, and at 5:30 I've been having practice with my new improv team, and we get coached. And I got there and I was like, I got a hard out. I have to leave at 6:30 because I've signed up for another class. It's the first ongoing improv class I've taken in a really long time, and I signed up for it. It's from somebody I know who runs an improv theater. And I was so excited that I was going to be taking this class. I had already missed the first class because I didn't see the flyer about, I didn't see the email about, you know, the offering of the class until it had already started. So I texted my friend and I said, hey, can I take your class? And he was like, sure, yeah, we'd love to have you. So I said, great, I'll see you next week. And he was like, oh, next week we're actually, we're not meeting for class. And so, you know, because of some other thing that was happening. And so he was like, so it'll be the following week. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. 2 weeks. Sure. See you then. He's like, I got a heart out, okay? I got to leave right at 6:30 because I got to book it back to where this class is being held. And our coach said, I think that class is on Wednesday nights. And I was like, no, it's on Thursday. She's like, I'm pretty sure it said Wednesday. And I looked, and sure enough, I had just missed the second class. And I was so upset with myself. I mean, it makes me emotional even now to think about it. I like really got upset with myself because I was like, I know this is like a silly thing, but it's not about the class, right? The feelings are not about the class. Often what we're upset about is not about the thing we're upset about. And what I'm really upset about is that I have, in some ways, overextended myself with all these little projects that I'm doing. And if it, you know, not just one of them would be too much for me, but I've taken on so much so quickly, and that it's like everything is sort of suffering because I'm not dedicated to just one thing. And it used to be like 3 years ago, before the whole world shut down, I was performing and we were meeting for practices with my improv teams or getting coached. And it would be like, 4 nights a week. But that was really the only thing that I was doing other than working. And I realized when everything shut down and like, then I wasn't doing anything, that I was like, I was probably like doing too much with improv at the time. But I loved it. I love it still. And I miss performing, and right now I'm not having opportunities to perform. So that hurts. I have to be honest, it really hurts. I don't want to be a victim, but I do feel like so much was taken away from us over those years, and it angers me. It angers me. Wasn't really expecting to feel this emotional, and it's not the video that I was going to make. So I don't know where to go from here. I'm starting another thing tomorrow, a new thing, but I think it's going to be actually helpful to help me get some clarity and do better in my life. I'm doing a Dr. Joe training with one of my friends who is a certified trainer with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Anyways, it's online, it's Zoom, so I don't have to leave the house. But I really wanted to take her workshop, and I just told her my life is a complete shit show right now, and she's like, perfect timing. And I was like, yeah, it probably is. It probably is the perfect time for me to do something like this. But anyways, the point, I guess, of this video is that we all get out of balance. And it's important to find balance in your life. And and it can quickly, for me, get out of hand because I tend to start taking on too much too quickly, which is what has happened. And it's fine. I might have to go back down to only filming 1 video a week, which is totally fine. Who cares? Hardly anybody's watching anyway. Just saying. And I've had some other challenges. I've had so many challenges making these videos. You just don't even know. Sorry, I'm just like trying to get the tears out of my eyes. I have the Adobe suite, which includes Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, which is an editing software. And so I've been trying to learn Premiere Pro because it's a beast of a program. It's a professional movie editing program. And those that use it, that are professional filmmakers, love it and they hate it. I've found out because I've watched a lot of tutorials. I've gone on a lot of chats. I've gone on to the Adobe site trying to get help because I upgraded thinking that it would stop some of the problems that I was having, because I was having problems with it crashing constantly while I'm in the middle of editing. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I just need to update, you know, to the newest version. And if you see this flashing, this is another issue I'm having, that my lights apparently need to be replaced in this room, and they keep flickering and going on and off, and it's driving me crazy. Anyways, my problem with Premiere Pro. And I pinned a comment on one of my videos because I was like, I know that the lighting on this doesn't look right. I am filming in high def 4K with an iPhone 13 Pro, okay? I should have no issues with the quality of this footage. But when I take it into Premiere Pro, now, because I upgraded to their newest version, they changed all the lighting settings so that when I drag my footage into Premiere Pro, it's overblown. It's like overexposed. The lighting is all wrong. So I've had to like take tutorials on how do I fix the lighting? How do I, you know, fix this problem, which wasn't ever a problem with the previous version. I've spent hours on this issue. I mean, hours researching, and other people have complained about it, and they say whoever made this decision with Adobe Premiere Pro should be fired. I sort of agree with that because I don't make money off of this, but people who are professional editors who have now lost a lot of income because they had to spend so much time trying to figure out how to get the lighting settings correct. So anyways, I've just been fiddling with it. I've downloaded some presets from other movie editors who said this should help, you know, your footage. And so either my footage looks too dull, looks too dim, or it looks too green, or, you know, and I'm moving all the settings. I have an idea of how it works, but then it may look good in Premiere Pro. But then when I export it, it will look one way, right, on your screen. But then when I upload it to YouTube, it looks even different than that. So it's like, what the heck do you do? How do you get like a really high def quality footage that will upload to YouTube to look clear and high def the way that it looks on your phone? If any of you know, help me out, because I'm lost. And my only thing that I think now is that I just have to switch to a different software to edit videos. And so I've looked into some options, and I've found a couple of good free options. Again, free because it's my no buy year. I'm not spending money on software programs when I have things that I can use, even if the quality sucks. And it shouldn't suck. Premiere Pro, if any of you know what that program is, I mean, it's a huge program. It's what professional movie makers use. Anyways, it's been a huge frustration in my life, and I think I just needed to vent in this video. And I hope you've stuck with me. If you've stuck with me this long, I thank you for letting me rant and vent, because it's been a heck of a few weeks. Actually, this past couple of weeks have just been really challenging for me, and feeling like we're only mid-February. I shouldn't be feeling this burned out in life. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I thank you for watching. I thank you for your encouragement. Those of you who comment on my videos, and there's a couple of you who are consistent, and I'm so grateful for you. You don't even know, because I feel like I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And despite everything that's happening in the world, I didn't even get into that. I was taking my guitar lesson on Thursday, and I just started crying right in the middle of a song. Just started crying. And my teacher, he's so sweet. He's a friend, and he's like, it's okay, it's okay. We all go, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on. I was like, yeah, it's a lot. The world is really crazy right now. So thank you for watching. Despite everything, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy you're alive. And I am so grateful for you guys who have subscribed and who are watching and who comment. And it brings me a lot of joy. So thanks a lot. I'm doing great. You're doing great. Let's just remember that.